Damn, I was excited to play the music.
Here we go.
A complete unknown. I don't know anything about it. So
What?
Next one.
You get to introduce this one.
Complete Unknown, one of my favorites. It's directed by James Mangold, starring Timothy Chalamet.
I love gold.
I love gold. Edward Norton and Eli Fanning.
Elle Fanning.
It's
This
nominated
film-
for 8 Best Picture, Achievement in Film, Directing, Actor in the Leading Role, Actress in a Supporting Role, Actor in a Supporting Role, Adapted Screenplay, Achievement in Costume Design, and Best Score.
Best sound.
Best sound. No score points this round.
James Mangold. If you
dyslexic.
know James Mangold, James Mangold
You did
directed.
good.
That was
good.
good.
James Mangold directed
better.
another classic biopic, which is Johnny Cash's story in Walk the Line, starring Joaquin Phoenix.
While you're on that, dude, Johnny Cash, whoever played that
fucking
character,
killed,
yeah.
right?
Killed it.
Fucking
Yes,
killed.
absolutely.
We all know
Yeah.
like Johnny Cash is this mystique, you know, perfected it.
I
He
agree.
didn't do a
He was
lot, but it was
fucking nice.
enough with just.
Terrific.
And then the ending when he gives him the guitar. I was like,
Even,
"Ugh."
even the scene with the car where he's like
Oh
parking
yeah,
his
he's
bike.
like, I gotta go, kid. And
I got some
Yeah.
bugles. You want some bugles?
Dude, where's the supporting role for that one?
By the way, have you guys seen what James Mangold has done?
What has he
He's
done?
directed A Complete Unknown,
Logan.
Indiana Jones,
Oh.
Ford v Ferrari, Logan,
Which Indiana
Three
Jones?
Tandy Yuma,
The last
Dial
one.
of Destiny.
Bangers.
That was
left and right.
Mangold?
Yeah.
I didn't really know.
Wow.
Walk the Line, 310 to Yuma.
What the line?
He did
baby?
Logan, too.
Yep. This man does not
Logan,
miss.
what the?
He does not miss.
Yeah, he's terrific.
Yo, he's good.
Hit
He's
after-
one of those
honestly,
sleepers, you know,
Yeah.
like he's known in the mainstream. He's kind of becoming another Spielberg in a sense, you know. He's good in the mainstream, making good pictures that can anybody
He's
can
also
watch.
going to
In the Nolan
direct a
class?
Star Wars movie.
Can I start with this one?
yeah, you have to.
Okay. You know
Rating.
what I like about this? It's not your typical conventional biopic.
You could start with the rating.
Oh shit.
I agree,
Dude, I'll give it a 9.7.
9.7. Wow, you really like this one.
Dang.
It's just
okay
I
to
don't
be
know much
incorrect.
about this guy, and
Bob Dylan?
I still don't know much about this guy. But
That's the point.
Exactly. Hey, that's where I'm
He
going.
doesn't
Alright.
even know who he is.
Rapid fire.
That's yeah.
CK.
I don't know how to feel about Mangold. I got to give it like an 8.6, 8.3.
Wow.
Get out.
Yeah, I'm around you. I'm at an 8.5.
I'll give it a little more. I'm at about 8.9. It's so hard to make a good biopic.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard.
For sure.
We even haven't had a good biopic in like 20 years.
Especially
so I
somebody who-
celebrate this film. I celebrate James Mangold. It's not easy. It's not easy to make a good biopic. It's a real challenge. And again, well, I'll stay there because we got to talk about that. But
Yeah.
Little.
8.25.
8.25.
Hold on. What? No.
No,
don't give
there's
quarters.
nothing like that.
Whoa,
That's a
whoa,
weak
whoa.
8.2.
We don't go by.
You say weak.
We don't go by hundreds.
Round
we go
up,
by tens.
8.3.
Weak,
Okay,
mid,
fine.
Fire.
8.3.
Okay.
He's just being sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll just say that I think that his
No, rapid
execution.
fire.
What the hell? We went through it. Fired.
Everybody says one
Up,
word.
up, up.
Chambers are empty.
Right.
No, I want to say that like I think that this was well done for a biopic, and like you say, there's a
for a biopic.
It's an unconventional biopic.
no. It's a well done film, and in the biopic, like you mentioned it, the return of good biopics.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like they not only like told the story of this concert. Because that's kind of like a big catalyst in the Bob Dylan lore.
Yeah.
It's literally based on a book called Bob Goes Electric. It's about him going electric, like
At a folk festival.
at a folk festival.
And,
it does.
you know, I feel like for covering the story the way it did and the beats that it wanted to capture and the moments and all that building up to it, going from him being a genuine, again, complete unknown, where, you know, he doesn't even describe himself as, you know, oh, I'm Bob Dylan. He goes like, oh, my name's Bobby. And going from that character all the way to the end where he's just kind of like, fuck you and your idea of what you think I'm going to become and all that.
I
Like,
love the line that the agent says to describe him.
Yeah.
He says to Woody Guthrie, to the Edward Norton character. He says to him, you guys are upset because you're pushing candles and he's pushing light bulbs.
Yeah.
You know, like that's
Yeah.
such a good
That
fucking line.
perfectly
Seeger.
sums up the whole entire film.
Yeah,
exactly.
I
sure.
love that line. And to Dalal's point, and to Castro's point, this really wraps it all around. Bob Dylan is an enigma. He's an enigma. And Dalal used a very key word, character.
See, and that's
Because
why
he doesn't know who the fuck he is yet. He's finding himself and he's defining himself. He says it very many times in the film, like, you get to decide who you are. People make up their background all the fucking time.
and that's why I say it's your unconventional biopic because at the end of the day we still don't know who he really was.
exactly.
Whereas in a biopic you kind of go through of who this person was. My bad.
No, my bad. I was even gonna say, even in the last dialogue when the last text on the screen, when they talk about like, oh, Bob Dylan went on to make all these records and stuff like that. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature, which he
didn't
didn't
show up.
attend. Like it says that
Bob Dylan's an enigma, and
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet says it best. He still hasn't met Bob Dylan. He's never met him, and he's like, I almost don't want to. He's like, I guess Bob Dylan tweeted about the film and
What
said,
he said,
like,
"Do you
he
like
said,
it?"
no, he said, can you look up the tweet? He said, Timothy
Right on.
Chalamet like played this amazingly. Like, I applaud him. It's a good film, whatever. He liked it, but Timothy was like, I don't want to meet him. He's like, because if I meet him, I'm going to do one of two things. I'm going to thank him, which everybody in the world fucking does, or I'm going to try to outcool him.
Damn.
You know what I'm
True.
saying? Like to match his level, to like be somebody who he's actually interested in, you know? And again, nobody can pinpoint Bob Dylan. That's fucking
the
hard,
whole
dude.
thing, man.
So Bob Dylan tweeted, there's a movie about me opening soon called A Complete Unknown. What a title. Maybe sarcastically, right?
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet is starring in the leading role. Timmy's a brilliant actor, so I'm sure he's going to be completely believable as me or a younger me. Or some other me. Or some other me. See that?
Nice.
The film's taken from Elijah Wald's Dylan Goes Electric, a book that came out in 2015. It's a fantastic retelling of events from the early 60s that led up to the fiasco at Newport. After you've seen the movie, read the book.
that's lovely.
Oh, to
Again,
get
a
that
very
type of
Bob Dylan thing to do, you know?
The loud
So-
to the voice.
What?
Hey, what do you got, three?
Hey, you got three of the Dylan. Timothy Chalamet is going to rock and roll.
right road.
I'll say this, and it'll be my hot take for this
One.
episode.
One and only one.
Here we
My
go.
hot
He
take:
used it.
Chalamet ass. I did not. Okay, I saw
Wait,
Bob
he was
Dylan.
ass or his ass?
Hold on. What?
Both.
His ass, not believable. The character. No, I'm kidding.
It wasn't his head.
No. I think that Timothy is an amazing actor, and I've seen him in so many roles, and I love his trajectory. I just felt like for the younger parts he was doing good, and then for the older parts he was doing good. But there were so many weird moments where I didn't see Bob. I saw Timothy,
Yeah.
and I mean I think as time went on, when he threw on the shades, when he was playing, the performances were
Concert.
like
Again, super hard to do.
They're
Joaquin
amazing.
Phoenix didn't do that shit.
He walked the line.
Not fully.
He went hard, low key.
He went hard as an
yeah,
actor.
oh, yeah, I agree.
No,
No,
but
but-
was he playing live the
Yeah,
entire
exactly,
time? I mean,
exactly.
he wasn't
Well,
doing shit that
that's
Timothy
one-
was doing.
He did win a Grammy for that one, so I'm pretty sure he recorded those songs.
Recorded.
But hey,
No, but I'll say that like the character he portrayed and all that Timothy put into that role, I give him absolute props. I
I'll
just felt
agree.
like
Yeah. I'll
there was
disagree
this
with you.
weird. No, go ahead. My hot take is just that I do feel like maybe a good third and dare I say half of the movie. I couldn't see Bob.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that,
I have
that-
a-
But I think that's very intentional.
Check.
I think it's very intentional because Bob wasn't Bob yet. He was creating a character.
I got something to backtrack on that for you guys. I get in a lot of discussions about actors with my brother.
I'm sorry.
being that he's one.
Yeah, he's fine.
I'm sorry. No, but freaking one thing that we were talking about the other day is the new wave of all these Hollywood actors. You got Timothy Chalamet, you got Zendaya, all those like kids that are younger that are phenomenal Hollywood talent.
Yeah.
We don't really get the character actors anymore. The Philip Seymour Hoffmans, the freaking Danny Day-Lewis. We get more story actors now. So I believe that Timothy Chalamet killed it with the story. He can tell the story of Bob Dylan really, really well. But I do agree with you. Like it's kind of hard to believe that he's the character of Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Okay, here. Let me interject in here. I think he showed a lot more range here
Yeah.
than he did in Dune Part 2.
I think he showed a lot range here than he's shown in any film.
Exactly.
I
Any
think
picture.
lot
And again,
range.
it's like
This-
the Robert Downey Jr. thing. It's he's a guy playing the other guy like he's literally playing a kid from Ohio trying to become a character that he's inventing.
And I even mentioned to you, why was it that at the beginning it kind of sounds like him?
like Timmy.
But then it turns
Just
into
like
like,
the law
holy
says,
shit.
he's even like I'm Bobby. You know, like he's still this
But you
insecure
told me
kid.
you
trying-
told me you had a theory or why that was.
That's the theory. The theory is that he's not playing Bob Dylan as we know him because nobody knows Bob Dylan.
Nobody knows about.
Right? You know what you see on an interview, and even Timothy's like, Timmy admitted, I didn't know who the fuck Bob Dylan was. I knew a few of his songs, but instead of going to look for his music, I went on YouTube, and when you search Bob Dylan, a bunch of controversial interviews come up before his music comes up.
Damn.
And again, that's what the media has perceived of Bob Dylan.
That's what
Nobody
I
knows
thought.
who the fuck Bob Dylan is. And the Bob Dylan thing to do for Bob Dylan is to not let you know who Bob Dylan is.
Yeah,
and
that's
to have Timothy start out in this this kid who's like meeting one of his heroes and playing
Right.
the song for him and starting to gain confidence and building himself to be the persona that is Bob Dylan. That as an actor
Transformation
is
is-
fucking hard, and it's harder to portray it on camera, and like it's harder to capture that, you know.
And I think that he did amazing. I can't say that this film didn't showcase Timothée Chalamet's talent. And I mean, after this, we talked about he's going to have an amazing
Brilliant
career.
yeah.
I can't wait for his next one.
But
Yeah,
and let's say if the same talent was there, and I mean, I need to see more from the actor,
I like
but
this.
the kid from the Holdovers, if he played Bob Dylan, like, do you feel like?
That's a good
Wasn't
one.
he too young, or which one?
No. I feel like he's in the right age.
That's what you would expect of a Bob Dylan biopic. That's my point. That's what you would expect. That's the on the nose thing to do. Is to get a kid who's moody who can play Bob Dylan. No, but
he's a complete unknown. I don't. I can
He
throw.
is. The kid is.
Yeah,
No, he's
I
not.
can
He's
throw-
the Oscar nominated.
That's the thing. I've seen Timmy, and I'm seeing Timmy. And
That's
he's
not
a
fair.
complete-
That's not fair. And that's part of the reason why Leo's my
Yeah,
favorite
no, it
actor
is
of all
fair.
time.
I'm with you
because
to a
Leo,
certain
extent.
Leo
fair.
has to break out of Leo for you to know who
I
Leo
need
is.
Leo to eat a fish before I respect
That's what
him.
I'm saying.
Timmy's got it.
It's harder to do that. Timothy
That's
just
what
pulled
we
off.
said.
Timmy's got
Hot
to
take.
eat a
Hot
cat.
take.
No, we already used it.
we go.
We already used it.
Timothy did the hardest acting thing to do this year because he's a complete known. He has to break out of the movie star stigma that follows him. He has to break out of that because people know him from famous roles and Dune and whatever. So he has to break out of the stigma of being a pop star, being a fucking rock star, right?
It's hard, yeah.
It's hard. That's the first foundational level. Then you have to create a character that nobody can put a pin on. You don't know who Bob Dylan is. I have to create the character of the character. And on top of that, what we do know of Bob Dylan in the media, he pulled that off too. It's not easy to create these iterations of a character that that most people are going to complain about.
I don't know. He sounds
gotta-
too much like Dewey Cox.
I got
Joe Cox sounds like me.
Well, to
Go ahead.
backtrack off of that, I'm just here to challenge you, Carlos.
I appreciate that.
Challenge
No,
him.
Fight,
I believe
fight.
I'll agree with you
Round
there.
one.
I believe that he did take on the most hardest thing acting wise throughout the Oscars for this year, but I still can't believe that he executed it. That he was able
You
to
don't think
but-
Timmy succeeded?
Yeah,
No, no, no,
I
But
do,
we
I
have
do give
to.
him kudos
He
for
did.
having
We
the
have to
balls.
agree that there are moments that you can see him, and I think it's the fact.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
It's
like,
the fact that you get those glimpses, but you have these ups and downs.
Yeah.
I think
And-
that's
and it's-
brave.
and-
I think it's brave from a director.
it's brave.
Yeah,
for
and,
sure.
and I
You know?
I do think that I'm not saying, oh, the moments only happen when he's singing. There was moments that when he was in the bedroom with those other girls and he's talking and all that, I could see that Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
that
was
was
going to say
sick.
that
That
that's
was
the
sick.
opposite. I was going to say that that's when you think he's trying too hard.
On the bed.
And almost like when he's
Interesting.
talking to Joan Baez's character, like as a songwriter, you're trying too hard. Or like when he makes a joke with Elle Fanning, one of my favorite moments in the scene, where he's like, "Why do you got to go to Rome for 60 days? God made the earth in 7." And then she's like, "What does she say?" She's like, "Are you Bob?" And he's like, "For the last time." Yes. Are you God?
Are you God?
Are you God for the last
you
time?
Bob?
Yes. And then he's got that smirk, and he's trying to be cooler than he is, and to an extent, that's something Bob Dylan would never admit. He's human. He's trying to be cooler than he actually is.
The mystery,
He's
bro.
creating a fucking character. Oh gosh, to me, it goes on deeper levels.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
take this for face value if you want. Coming from a musician, it's hard, bro. It's hard to play in front of 100 extras to begin with. He played in front of 1,000, let's say. Which, by the way, I think they've perfected that in cinema. I think that's really great. They get 200 extras and digitally create the rest.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way they got
Something
1,000.
that Bohemian Rhapsody actually did right for cinema. That's the only thing he did right for cinema.
Get off it.
Yeah.
Are we really going to give him his flowers when he crossed the line during the strike?
Yes.
Now you were saying
Nah, fuck it. That's what he
Oh, really?
hates when people call him what is it called?
Scab.
A scab?
A scab.
He
because
scabbed?
all he did was just continue to train his voice and guitar playing
No,
skills.
but
Oh,
he
what
met
a
with
scab.
his voice coach.
No, he
during-
didn't.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Oh, sorry. They got together for lunch.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. He didn't.
It was a Barnes and Noble's book date. My ass.
I'm just saying that as a musician, I'm not an actor. I would assume that already is very hard in and of itself. I've worked with enough actors to at least know that. On top of that, to perfect in real time, playing live, you only do that in music. La La Land's the last fucking thing that did that. to sing live, to sing and play live. That's
And
hard.
what a waste of a perfect night, huh?
But no, genuinely,
It's like you had to go back to like a happier moment.
it's hard. It's a musician. It's hard to perform
that is
like that and not have any pre-recorded tracks. There are no pre-recorded tracks. Not just of Timmy, by the way. Monica as well. Joe Baez.
And also no AI.
No AI.
No AI.
It's the difference between creativity and
Yeah. It's just, again, as a performer, my respect goes wholeheartedly out to Timothy Chalamet.
So this is my big question, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh man, because I know the other one's gonna be a classic in 10 years. I don't know about this one.
No, I won't. Most biopics aren't. Name a biopic that's a
but-
classic.
No, yeah,
Low-key?
Lincoln.
Mangold has a rundown with biopics becoming
He does.
classics. Like even freaking Ford versus Ferrari.
That's
another
true.
one
that
like
one.
freaking stud.
Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah, Ford v.
But you think, okay,
Straight
just
Outta
the performance
Compton?
that he did, you think
Did
he
he
takes
do
it
that?
over Adrian Brody? Because I know you first saw this one and you were like, this guy takes the cake.
In
But
merit, yes. In performance alone, no. In merit, yes. Because again, dude, that's why I kind of talk about Emilio Perez a little bit on giving them a little more credit, because to make a musical takes more physicality. It takes more training. As a performer, you're doing more. As
That
a
is true.
performer,
That
Timothy
is true.
Chalamet is doing more than Adrian Brody.
Absolutely.
Adrian
okay,
Brody's.
that's exactly what I was
You
going
know
to
what I'm
say.
saying?
Yeah,
As
Ralph
for
Fiennes is
merit, yes. For performance alone, no.
Okay. I think we're at a good
I
place.
know, dude. I complicate things this way because that's
let
how
me
I
ask you real quick,
analyze
real
it.
quick.
No, it's a good conversation to have.
But what do you think? Who do you think's going to take it? Him or
Really
Oh,
quick,
Brody.
the nominations are Brody, Chalamet,
I thought he announced it. No.
Coleman. No, the
Shalamala Bing Bong.
Yeah, Shalamala
Shalamala
Bing
Bing Bong. Coleman, Domingo for Sing Sing.
I didn't see.
Sing Sing should have been
Sebastian
nominated.
Stan for The Apprentice. And then who I think is going to win it, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave.
No, it's only those two.
Conclave.
Sleeper.
Eh.
Sleeper.
Can we? I think we're at a good place. Do we feel like it's going to take anything? I don't think it's going to take Best Picture.
Best sound.
Best
I
original
love the
screenplay.
concerts. I love how they
Not the
Yeah.
sound.
sound.
No, the sound design in Conclave, dude, is fucking
Dude,
amazing.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yo. I saw it in Atmos. It was great.
If there's one thing that this one's gonna take, I really feel like it's gonna be adapted screenplay. Because in order to
That's fair.
turn,
Austin,
yeah,
are you
turning
writing
a
down the
whole
ones that
real
we're
story.
thinking?
I'll take that bet.
Yeah.
I'll take that bet.
I'll bet $10 that
I'll
I
take
get
that
more
bet.
right than you guys.
You'll take that bet?
Unpopular opinion, costume design too.
Costume design. Yeah.
No!
Hey, that doesn't count. I know what you're trying to do there.
No,
that doesn't
dude.
count.
Why doesn't it count?
Wicked.
I know what you were trying to say
Oh,
there. That doesn't
Wicked.
count.
Wicked.
What?
or-
Wicked's gonna take it for
Wicked or-
costume.
Unpopular design. Or unpopular opinion. That doesn't count, no.
Why? Because the Conclave?
It's his opinion.
I don't even know what else is nominated other than Wicked.
No,
talk
he
about
was trying to say that. It's insane hot
Talk
take.
about some
For cinematography.
I wasn't even trying. But
Cinematography.
What's the thing?
Mama.
Quick note: they shot this on Sony's Venice.
Venice.
Their new Venice, right?
Wow.
The
Oh, the new
dark
one.
scenes,
So
man.
the-
Almost natural lighting.
Yeah, the reason that they chose the Venice over any other camera system is because the cinematographer was amazed at the fact that you could throw barely any light at this camera and you'd be able to get these perfect images.
Yeah.
And he just said that like they didn't have to do anything, but they were able to get these really nice natural scenes because a lot of it takes place at night. A lot of it's just Bob Dylan kind of like perusing through the city.
I'm shocked that it didn't get nominated for production design.
Yeah.
The cinematography
agreed.
is nothing
Agreed.
without this production design. They recreated
True.
Greenwich Village. That's
That's
fucking hard,
crazy.
bro.
Oh,
That
even
is
like
crazy.
I love the set for that like TV show, the folk TV show with Edward
Oh, that
Norton
was
and all
so
that kind of
good.
stuff. Yeah, I love those
felt like
moments
a-
and then the
a
blend with the
old school-
camera there.
Yeah,
Johnny
maybe
Carson
it
type.
falls into the stigma of biopics.
Yeah.
Right? Because or a period piece to an extent.
Again, I feel like to tell this story, it didn't need to take any risk visually, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I just feel like it was capturing what it needed to capture. And also,
Exactly.
I think when it comes to biopics, you need to do some camera work and magic to know when to hide enough of the character so that way you can see who they're portraying
Yeah.
and then also reveal them enough to see the performance and move forward the story. And,
This is the last-
and there is a masterful balance of that, but
There's the last thing I'll note about this
we'll
that
move on.
I love that Timothy actually really focuses on. If you know anything about Timothy Chalamet, he's young, man. He acts young.
He's dating a Jenner.
He is dating a Jenner, unfortunately. No, but what he
Don't
points
fuck up
out
his career, please.
that I think is phenomenal about this is like you have to go back and study these characters as much as you can, right?
Right.
And he pinpoints a moment where him and Joan Baez are sharing the stage, like in the film,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, I love that scene because if you go back to see the video, it's like Joan Baez and Bob Dylan share a secret that only they know. And that's the relationship between
That's
these two.
really, really cool.
And they succeeded. They succeeded in re-portraying that in a very
That's
phenomenal
beautiful.
way.
I gotta go check that out. 'Cause, yeah,
That's
I know what
pretty
you're
cool.
Hot take.
saying. Nah, that's
sorry.
three.
I'm sorry.
Three, you're getting kicked out.
This is one of the only, if not the only, off the top of my head, biopics
Films directed by
that
James
could
Mangold.
possibly do with the same team a successful sequel.
Ooh.
There's so much more of Bob's life. There's so much more of Bob's life.
alone.
So what? Then make the next one a Rolling Stone. I mean, like,
absolutely.
if you go see the documentaries, go see the Scorsese documentaries about Bob Dylan. No
Didn't
Direction
Scorsese
Home.
produce this, or
No Direction Home and Rolling Thunder Review. There's so many versions of Bob Dylan. The Rolling Thunder Review, just watch that. It's on Netflix. Holy shit! Like, it's a different Bob Dylan than anybody fucking knows.
Okay.
So
I'm now interested in
could
Bob Dylan.
warrant a sequel, I think.
I wrote something about him in college, but
We're done.
beautiful.
Nah, that's not fair. We finished.
no? Coxino's still talking.
What?
All right,
We got
Mr.
this.
CK.